Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have not been on here in quite a while. For some reason, I just decided to pick up my camera and record this because I feel like this topic is something that needs to be talked about, especially because I have a lot of clients that come to me that have been through similar situations. If you've never been here before, my name is Cassie, Coach Cass. I help people online lose fat, get confident, and understand nutrition so that they don't have to restrict the foods they love and get that sexy body that they've always wanted. What I wanted to talk about today is my own personal story about how I started with an online coach back in 2016 who gave me a really strict meal plan, and I tried following it because I was so desperate to lose fat. So let's back up a little bit. I was 50 pounds overweight. I had changed jobs from walking around being highly active all day to sitting down at a desk for 8 hours straight. I had gained quite a bit of weight during this year of working at this new desk job. I was pretty desperate to start losing weight, get into a good training routine, and feel better and stop feeling tired. I kept seeing this coach's plan come up on my Instagram. That was when Instagram was like blowing up. So I reached out. There was no applying for coaching. There was no seeing if we were a good fit. It was basically just getting a meal plan and getting a training routine. And I was all for it. I was motivated, I was ready to go, I was desperate to lose fat, and it just sounded like this is what was good for me. And also, the marketing that this guy used was everyone showing their abs. You can get abs if you eat like this. You can get abs if you train like this. Yada, yada, yada. To me, I thought if I did this meal plan and I did this training program, I was gonna look like that. The meal plan that he gave me was very bland. Boiled chicken, boiled broccoli, oatmeal with nothing in it, strawberries. There was no other fruit, it was just strawberries. Rice cakes. There may have been a couple other things in there, but he told me everything to eat and at what times. I was eating like 7 times a day. These very boring meals. And it was supposed to be a 6-week program. I think I only lasted 2 weeks because I just couldn't do it anymore. 1, I didn't like any of the crap I was eating, and 2, I was so freaking hungry that I thought I was starving. And then along with this was a training routine that he gave me, and let me remind you, I was very new to weight training. I didn't know proper form. I was coming from not training at all, and this training program was 6 days a week, over an hour in the gym, and training abs every day after the workout. For someone who was not eating on a schedule, was going out to eat quite often, wasn't strength training, to go from that to working out 6 days a week for over an hour in the gym, to eating boring, bland foods, only certain foods, 7 times a day, probably on a very low calorie count, was not realistic at all. And I see this happen so many times with clients that come to me who think that they have to eat these boring foods and they have to work out 6-7 days a week and they have to spend hours in the gym just to get healthy and lose body fat. And that is just not the case. So my approach with my clients, we track our calories, we track our nutrition, we make protein a priority, we make sure we're drinking water, we make sure we're getting in fiber, but I let my clients choose the foods that they want to eat. I don't give them any meal plans, and the reason why I don't do this is because it's not realistic, it's not sustainable, and I don't know what exactly my clients like to eat. So how am I going to create a meal plan for them that they are going to be able to stick to? This is why I like for my clients to track their nutrition, choose the foods they like to eat, so that they can learn during this process what portion sizes are, what foods make them feel good, how to build balanced meals, proteins, carbs, fats in one meal, not just eating a piece of chicken and calling it a meal, not just eating some fruit and calling it a meal, not eating a bowl of rice and calling it a meal, or hell, skipping breakfast and drinking 2 cups of coffee and calling that a meal. When we track our nutrition, we are learning all of these things, and that is how you're gonna find what works for you. And even though we're tracking our nutrition, we're not cutting out chocolate, we're not cutting out sweets, we're not cutting out cheese, pizza, burgers, and fries. We're not cutting out any specific foods. all of these foods can fit into your diet and you can still make progress. Now, along with my clients tracking their nutrition, we also create a training program that makes sense for their lifestyle. Most of us don't have time to work out 6 days a week for an hour or more each day. I have some clients that work out 2 days a week, 3 days a week, and 4 days a week. Hardly any of my clients even work out 5 days a week, and you don't need to work out 5 days a week to see progress or even be in your best shape. So I just wanted to come on here and talk about that and tell you that it doesn't have to be miserable on your fat loss journey, and you can incorporate your favorite foods, and you can make your training a part of your life rather than your training be your entire life. So I don't really do a lot of videos like these on YouTube as of right now, but I am always sharing things on Instagram. So if you would like to go follow me on Instagram, do so. I'll have it linked in the notes below, and I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for tuning in to today's rant.